Okay, what is going on, everybody? I am going to go through the astrology for this new moon in Pisces that we had a few days ago. So it is the post-Pisces new moon now, but I still wanted to go through this energy and then talk about some of the aspects that are coming up, what is to come in the throughout this week, throughout Pisces season, and just kind of the general themes and messages of this time. So, and I promise with the next video, it will be before the full moon. The next full moon we have is in Virgo. So there will be a video of that. And I do enjoy having the chart next to me and going through that. And I think, yeah, you guys like to see the chart as well. So let's talk about it. All right. So for this new moon in Pisces, we had the sun and the moon together at 4 degrees, right? That's what makes it a new moon, when the sun and the moon are exactly together. So 4 degrees in Pisces. The Piscean energy, us, being in Pisces season, we have Mercury that's in retrograde in Pisces. You can see Mercury right here. It was close to this new moon, and now it's just continuing to move backwards in Pisces. And then it's going to move forward again over all of this same material that it's reviewing right now. But Pisces season in general, let's just talk about the Pisces energy. So with the sun and the moon both in Pisces for that new moon, it's just a concentrated amount of Piscean energy, which with Pisces, it's a water sign. It is nonverbal because it represents feelings. It represents our emotions, our feeling body, our intuition, our connection to source, our ability to tread water, to surrender, to trust in the divine plan when we can't really see things so clearly. So at the time of this new moon, that was a few days ago, and we're still moving through this energy. And throughout Pisces season, Mercury being retrograde, this energy is asking us to pause, to go inward. That's what retrogrades represent. It's a time of reflection, of reviewing, of going inwards. And so to take the high road of this Pisces energy, even though we have a good amount of Earth in the sky, we have Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, the South Node, and Mars all moving through Capricorn. So it's a lot of Earth energy, a lot of Earth and water. And the Earth energy, it wants to build something long lasting. It wants to build something stable. It is focused on what it needs to achieve, and little by little going to the top of the mountain. That's the Capricorn energy. And Earth energy in general. It's just wanting to build a solid foundation, to ground down the dreams and to manifest, to make them a reality. So I think at the time of this new moon, there could have been, it could feel like that there's a lot that we need to get done, or that we know, in the back of our mind, that there is a lot that we need to tend to, that so much has been changing since the beginning of this year. Like Saturn and Pluto coming together has really shaken a lot of stuff up internally and externally. But throughout Pisces season, it's like a pause and a remembering of what is truly important, like what truly matters. So even though, Mars is moving through Capricorn, you can see Mars here in Capricorn, that is very determined. It's very focused. Mars is the planet of action. It's how we go about moving through life. And it's in Capricorn, so it wants to, accomplish things, get shit done, check stuff off the list. Little by little, climbing to the top of the mountain. But the Pisces energy, it wants us to slow down a little bit and to go inward and to check in and to make the adjustments where it's needed in our lives. So because the Pisces energy, it's an ending, it's a completion of a cycle. It's the last sign in the zodiac. So it is a checking in and a remembering of what truly matters. At the end of all of this, at the end of your life experience here, right? When we die, looking back on your life, what was really important? What are your true dreams, your true goals? What is calling to you, from a deeper place, a spiritual calling? That's the Piscean energy. It's very able to connect with the other realms, to receive messages from source, to, in its highest expression, it is so it's so tapped into its inner world, to its intuition. It's being led from that place of a deeper knowing and a trust and a surrender. You know, the low road is being the victim and being the martyr and just feeling things so intensely and not knowing what to do with it, or feeling, you know, emotional waves and just feeling bad or wanting to escape from their reality. But the high expression of this energy is to be able to be led from that place, like to be led by source, by spirit, and to really, you know, connect in with yourself, with your subconscious, and with what your truth is. So like I was saying, at the end of all of this, what really matters, like, so I think at the time of this new moon and throughout Pisces season, it's a checking in, and it's a making sure that the path that you're on is really in alignment, like it's really feeding you on the deepest level, like it's nourishing your soul. Pisces wants to make their dreams a reality. I mean, Pisces rules our dream state, it rules our subconscious. Again, the Pisces energy, it can be hard for them to decipher between what is real, what is reality, and what is an illusion, because they have such a strong imagination. They have such a strong internal world. They have, you know, an ability to see things maybe, or to hear things, or to feel things that not everybody else, you know, is maybe so naturally inclined to. Like if you have a lot of Pisces energy, I would imagine it's very easy for you to, um, it could be in its highest expression, it could be easy to receive messages in your dreams, to tap into your subconscious, to go into the meditative state, the flow state, and to just push the conscious mind to the side a little bit and to allow the subconscious to flow through you and to really be led from that place. So I think at the time of this new moon and throughout Pisces season, Mercury's retrograding back into Pisces. So this is like, yeah, it's a pausing, it's a slowing down, it's a going inwards and attending to our, okay, tending to our emotional world and the thoughts that we have about it, right? Because and tending to this, to our subconscious and what's going on underneath the scenes, because Mercury, the planet of communication, here's Mercury, motherfucker, draw right a line right through it. Mercury is the planet of communication. It rules how our mind works and how we communicate, and it likes to be in a sign where it's like it's clear, it's concise, it's quick, like quick-witted. It's able to think about things, to have answers just come through really quickly. And with it in Pisces, it's like it's underwater. It's like we're combining. Okay, so with it in Pisces, it could be a little bit foggy. It could be a little cloudy. It could be the conscious mind isn't being like fed in the way that it likes, because the conscious mind wants logical, like rational, clear-cut, decisive answers and yeah, and ways of communicating. And with it in Pisces, it's more of a feeling. You know, it can be hard to put words to what it is that you're moving through or what it is that you're experiencing. It can be hard to understand Mercury. It can be hard for Mercury to understand like the emotional body and what's going on for us internally, how our emotions are connected with our thoughts. I think this is a really big thing that we're looking at right now. So again, this new moon in Mercury is retrograding back into Pisces, right? So it's right here. Now it's at like 6 degrees today. So it's slowly moving backwards in Pisces. It's going to go into Aquarius real quick, and then it's going to come back and move through Pisces. But yeah, with it moving through Pisces and with this new moon in Pisces, with us being in Pisces season, we are looking at the stories in our subconscious, because our subconscious rules us. It dictates everything, whether you're aware of it or not. Like ways that you could self-sabotage or self-destruct, like irrational fears, things that are like stories that are operating underneath the scenes that are holding you back in some way, that are keeping you from fully showing up, fully being seen, fully expressing yourself, fully stepping into the life that you want to live. Maybe there's stories in the subconscious that are negatively affecting that are not allowing you to fully embrace that, because you haven't tended to the root cause of why you're doing things. Like you haven't tended to the subconscious. And so with Mercury moving, you know, through Pisces, new moon in Pisces, we need to take the time to slow down and to notice those stories that are going on for us internally, and how it is affecting our ability to fully show up in the way that we would like to, how it's affecting our ability to create heaven on earth, right? To because that's the high road of the Pisces energy, is to be so connected to the other realms, to have such a powerful imagination. Like Einstein was a Pisces, just our ability to imagine, to believe in the magic, to to connect to just our ideals, our like idealized version of life. And that's where Pisces, it can easily fall into the low road, because it can be like, it can wear the rose colored glasses too often, to the point where, you know, it's making things up, or it's just not rooted in reality. But the high expression is to be able to connect to those other places, and to ground that down here on earth, to take our what's going through our imagination, to create this, like, the world that we've dreamed up, or a life for ourselves that we've dreamed up, that we've maybe envisioned, or that we've might have actually seen in our dreams, because like in our literal dreaming state, because Pisces rules our dreams. So to take that information, and then to actually to be able to ground it here on earth. And we really have the ability to do that at this time. We've got 4 planets at the time of this new moon. The moon has now moved into Aries, but we've got a good amount of water energy. So there are 4 planets in water. And then there's, what is there, 5, 6 things in earth, 5 planets, and then the south node in earth. So earth and water is our intuition, it's receiving the messages, it's our imagination, it's our connection to source, it is trusting in the divine plan and receiving that guidance. And earth is like the practicality, the ability to actually do something with it, to build it. Without earth, without the earth realm, there would be no like manifesting, there would be nothing here. Earth is, it's the mud and water coming together, growing new things, like new moons planting new seeds of intention. So this time is like a pausing, a going inwards, and a reconnecting with what your truth is, before we're like blasted forward to build on that. Because Mars is moving through Capricorn, which is where it loves to be. Again, Mars is the planet of action. It's how we go about moving through life. And so it's like having a clear goal, as to what it is you need to build in your life, what you're wanting to build. And I think with the Saturn-Pluto conjunction that we had in January, a lot of stuff has been shaken up for us, right? Internally, externally, like, internally, maybe old destructive like thought patterns or stories or cycles that you would get in. Like it's been made really clear what those are. It's been brought up to the surface. That's what Pluto does. It unearths what's beneath the surface and brings it up here, like in your face, so you can look at it. And Saturn is our physical reality. So it's a burning down, it's a destruction of all the things, that we're operating underneath the surface, that were not built in integrity, that were not built in alignment with what our mission is here. And so, these changes could be taking place externally, like relationships, places of living, job, like whatever it looks like for you. And you can look to your personal chart and see what house this is showing up in for you, to get a greater understanding of what area of your life it's been affecting. But a lot has been changing internally and externally. There's been a ton of transformation and growth. Like, this conjunction happens. You can see Saturn and Pluto here. It's slowly lightening, the conjunction, but this happens every like 35-ish years. 35-ish years, these 2 planets coming together. So it's not any small transit that we have. Like, we've kind of been building up to it throughout all of last year, and still throughout this year, we're going to be, it's like letting the dust settle of what was burnt down, of the destruction that happened. And then, like, the phoenix rising from the ashes, taking what is left from the destruction, like within the ashes, the ruins of what's left, and taking that to build something that is in alignment. And throughout this Pisces season, again, the ending of a cycle, the completion, arguably the most spiritual sign in the zodiac. It's like, it's a remembering, it's a reconnecting to what your truth really is, realigning with that, so that we can move forward and we can build. As Mars moves through Capricorn, Yeah, which is where it loves to be. It's a mountain goat, little by little climbing to the top of the mountain. But there's also Mars is moving over the south node, so there's something about having new awareness around how we've done things in the past, how we've moved through life in the past, how we've shown up for our dreams, how we've committed to things and stayed consistent and dedicated to what our life's work is, to what our dharma is. And that's going to look different for everybody. It's maybe going to look different for you each day, but there's a realization coming through with it being conjunct the south node, which represents our past, the collective past. So it's like we know that we can't move forward, Mars, we can't move forward doing the same things that we've always done. We have to go about it in a whole new way. We're standing on new grounds, like the ground underneath us was destroyed, all that wasn't in integrity, and it's been our job to slowly rebuild that. So that has been what we've been moving through, like a rebuilding of that foundation. Yeah. And right now with all of the earth energy, maybe like part of you is feeling like, something, something big is coming, or that there's a lot that needs to be done. There's a lot of work that's coming through, but it's kind of like a pausing and attending to our internal world and really making sure that our actions, that where we're focusing our time and energy is in alignment with what our with what really nourishes our soul on the deepest level possible. Yeah. We also have Venus moving through Aries. So Venus is the planet of love, of beauty, of relationship. Venus is our values. It's what we value. Uh, and how we show up in relationship with ourself, especially with it being in the sign of Aries, which represents the self. So with Venus moving through Aries, it's like a recommitting to what it is that you need to do to take care of yourself. Like we're very focused. Yeah, this energy is very focused on what needs to be done to achieve your goals, to support yourself, to tend to your internal world. But with Venus and Aries, it could want to just go off and do its own thing and have all these new experiences. It's a very impulsive, fiery, like self-starting, self-initiating energy. So you could be, it's like a relighting of the fire, like an igniting the fire underneath your ass to stay committed to yourself, to stay committed to what it is that supports you, especially throughout this time, throughout Pisces season, when there's so many emotions, there's so much shit coming up, like being brought up to the surface for us to acknowledge and to work with. And it's beautiful. It's deeply healing, but it's also like deeply intense. And it's like just being washed clean, being stripped bare. And so remembering what it is that you need to do, or remembering what your values are, like what are your personal values and how are you living by them? How, are you staying committed to your self-care each day? Are you staying committed to your work? Are you staying committed to exercise, to your health, to all the things that you need to do to fill up your cup, to make sure that you can, then show up in the outer world? So that is another aspect that we have going on in the sky, and they don't all necessarily support each other harmoniously. That's what the red lines represent. They're challenges. It's like a conscious effort to work through these things. The blue lines are a little bit more effortless, support from the planets. So, and this is also, the same thing in our personal birth chart. Like we have all these different energies going on within our chart, whatever was happening in the sky at the time we were born, and it's our job to assist them in flowing together in the most harmonious way possible, to become aware of like what this energy is asking from us, and to take the high road of that. So it doesn't always blue lines, it's not all perfectly supporting each other and harmonious, but it's our job to understand what our challenges are, what it is that we need to overcome, and then what we can eventually turn into a strength. So that is what we have going on in the sky right now. Throughout Pisces season, yeah, we're just going to continue to have Mercury go retrograde. It's still moving backwards. It's going to, yeah, eventually move forward again in March. It'll, like around March 10th, I think, is when it goes direct. And so you might want to look, or you can get a reading. I do astrology readings, past life regressions, hypnosis, and tarot readings, but it might be helpful to get a reading, an astrology reading. And I do like full birth chart readings, so 60 minutes, 90-minute readings, but also if you already have an understanding of your chart, I do 15-minute readings or 30-minute readings, and we can just look at the, like, where Pisces is in your chart. Because, or if you know how to do it on your own, I would suggest pulling this information up. You want to see what house Pisces is falling in, what house Mercury is, you know, moving through Pisces, where it's going, where it's retrograde, and then it's going to be moving forward again, because the house represents the area of your life that is being reworked at this time, that's being, you know, you're being invited to dive into your subconscious in that area. So for example, if it's in your fourth house, the house of home and family and your roots and your foundation, you're being asked to slow down, to pause, and to review that area of your life, to review the stories, the wounds, the trauma, the and also like the beauty that happened from your childhood and the things that went on at that time. A deeper understanding by slowing down and looking at it, looking at that area of your life and sitting with it, no matter how uncomfortable it is, and extracting the medicine from that, right? Like extracting the lessons, what needs to be healed here, what are the stories that I've picked up from that time in my life, with it being in the fourth house, like from childhood, that is now operating in my subconscious and affecting me in my personal life. And that's a lot of, that takes a lot of like actualization, to be able to do that for yourself. I recommend having, yeah, if you feel called, having somebody hold that space for you. It can be really helpful to just have that reflected back to you, because that's a lot of, there could be a lot of stuff that needs to be unpacked, which is totally fine. Like we all accumulate shit throughout life that we have to unpack and like look at and ask, is this good? Is this serving me? Is this helpful for me? If not, we throw it away and we rewrite those stories. So yeah, look at what house Pisces is in, dive a little bit deeper into your chart. If you feel called, or if you feel called to get a reading, I'm available for those. Yeah, I hope that this was helpful for you. I hope this supports you throughout Pisces season, better understanding what we're moving through. Yeah, and how to best work with this energy. So, all right, that is all for now. Thank you for being here. I will talk to you soon.